at Sunday's game, like what areas do you kind of look back on and say, I could have been better at this point?
Well, whenever there's an incomplete pass, obviously, sometimes you're throwing it away, but most of those, you could have done something differently. So all those, I think just situational football at the end, I think, we could always get better at that.
Is that something, like what's the kind of the pulse of this team after a loss? Does everybody kind of take a little bit on themselves?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got a good locker room in there where guys, watching the film and seeing what they could do better individually, and myself, starting with myself. It's just if everyone has that same mindset, it's going to lead to a better football team.
You've been on some Patriots teams, obviously, that expected to win games late, every game that they played, and they've dropped one or two here and there, every now and then. What was the tone in those locker rooms like? I mean, what did you observe when you were a young player about that?
I think the biggest thing is just you can't let it hang around, and you got to move on. Once you watch the film, get the corrections fixed, talk it out and everything. But once it's over with, it's over with. And this week, especially on the short week, just had to get over it quickly.
Jimmy, what are the Rams doing differently now versus when you played them the first time this season?
Well, obviously some different personnel. Dealing with trades, injuries, whatever it is. But just they're playing fast right now. Their defenses. They got obviously up front. Aaron's unbelievable, but that whole D-line as a group is very talented, and they make it difficult on you. So it's just got to play on time, get the ball out on time, and things like that.
In what ways do they look different with Ramsey there?
Well, he'll match receivers. He'll stay on the side, so we kind of have to feel that out as the game gets started. But he's a hell of a player, man. Jalen, he really is. He doesn't make any throws easy for you. Challenges everything. He's long. Just he really does a good job.
Jim, most of the passes you threw to Kittle were completed, so that was good. But of course, and if you win, then it's great. But if you lose, then it's like, why did you throw to the wide receiver?
Right.
So, what was going?
So you asked the obvious.
So, I guess what was going on? What was a function of what they were doing defensively that everything was kind of getting funneled to George?
Yeah, I mean it's when the play's called, I just try to get to the most open receiver. I think, when it's man-to-man, finding the best matchup and things like that. And, George did a great job of getting open. When his number was called, he, answered the bell. And so it's it could be zone when you're just trying to find the soft spot, and it could be matchups when it's man-to-man. I mean, there's a number of variables to it.
So they were largely just kind of going man with George?
Yeah, and we liked the matchup, and he did a great job.
Is that unusual?
To like the matchup?
No.
Or for them to go man. I was going to say, I usually like the matchup with George. But, yeah, it was, I mean, we knew they did that going into it. They played a little more than we expected, I would say, but it wasn't anything crazy.
You're getting used to working with a new center. Are there nuances that we might not notice that you have to kind of get used to, like snap and some timing stuff?
Yeah, there's, a bunch of little things, even if it's just the communication between the two of us in the huddle at the line of scrimmage, declaring the mic, whatever it is, just there's a million little things that go into that, and just, it'll take time.
How did Ben do with that?
I thought Ben did awesome. He was really clean with the communication. There really was no hiccups in there with that, and he battled all those guys up front. They battled, man. It was a hard-fought game up front.
Some of the guys said the Falcons did some things along the defensive line with some looks that were a little bit different that you guys haven't seen much. Is that a good area for you guys maybe to focus on? Not necessarily, just maybe when you get into the playoffs or seeing different fronts that you haven't seen before, you're going to be able to adjust a little bit better now that you've had a game like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think, playing teams in the past, it's not always what you see on film that they're going to do. They might throw some new things at you. Teams have been doing that to us, and we just have to be prepared. I think just going into the game with that mindset and, being able to adjust on the fly will be good for us.
Kyle was just saying one of the things he took away, even despite the losses, you're still in control of your destiny. How much of that was his message to you guys today, and how much does that maybe help you kind of flush away what happened else?
It's good to hear. Obviously, after the game, you don't want to hear that stuff. It's the last thing you want to hear. But I think today, just getting that realization back in our mind that we do control our own destiny, and if we handle business, we'll be in a good spot. So we just got to take it one game at a time. Though, start with the Rams, and we'll take it from there.
Guys?
All right, thanks, guys.